Welcome back to Studio G, news made for the rebel in you. I'm Maria Debut.
And I'm Ariel Mack. Happy Wednesday, everybody. In today's events happening today around campus, UNLV's American Medical Women's Association and the American Red Cross are partnering up with for a virtual event. The Missing Maps Marathon event takes place tomorrow from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. The purpose is to map out areas of the world that could benefit from global disaster response and anti-trafficking efforts. To volunteer, you can RSVP on the AMWA Instagram page or the American Red Cross website.
Worried you might forget all that information we just told you? Well, if you're 18 or older, you can sign up to have your memory investigated. The UNLV Human Memory Lab is seeking participants who are willing to learn materials and then have their memory tested. They will be broken down into 3, 30, and 45-minute sessions, and you will be compensated $10 an hour for your time. Ariel, will you sign up to have your memory tested?
It's kind of interesting. I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but I would definitely be willing to give it a shot.
Yes.
Other on-campus news, the Latinx program is celebrating graduation this year with the Latinx Graduation Celebración in order to continue creating a safe space while keeping the celebration spirit alive. This event will be an electronic event. The last day to sign up to be featured is April 15th and is open to all seniors graduating this spring.
And Nevada is now classifying lacrosse, ice, and field hockey as minimal contact sports as defined in the COVID-19 guidelines. Starting next Monday, March 15, indoor and outdoor practices and competitions will resume with social distancing requirements. Full contact sports and club leagues are still prohibited.
Yesterday, we brought you a story on how COVID-19 has affected our athletes here at UNLV. But what about the ones bringing the spirit? Studio G reporter Triana Gondo spoke to one senior of one campus dance team.
1 year later, COVID-19 continues to impact academics, businesses, and sports. It has also impacted UNLV's game day experience. You've probably seen them with the Star Nevada Marching Band lead pregame and halftime during UNLV football games, or on the sidelines cheering on the Lady Rebels. They are the Scarlet Dance Line, one of UNLV's spirit teams alongside the Rebel Girls, Cheer, and Pom. With so much to look forward to this past season, like performing at the brand new Allegiant Stadium, plans for this game day team looked a little different, especially for senior Amber Bess, coming back to UNLV since her freshman year on the team.
And unfortunately with COVID, those things kind of didn't happen, but I also am grateful to just be able to be a part of a team again, just being a part of Scarlet and having those new friendships and keeping up with people, although we are virtual, has kind of been a benefit to being back here.
Before the pandemic, practices consisted of learning different routines and sidelines with the marching band in person. However, close contact activities like dance weren't ideal as social distancing guidelines first started to roll out. The team turned to the next best option, Zoom. The team's season was filled with uncertainty as state-issued lockdowns kept getting extended and lifted.
So we have not been able to perform yet, but I think that is the best decision just for everyone's health and safety to follow those rules, not try to push the boundaries.
With things still up in the air, the team is trying to appeal to prospective members who might be on the fence about trying out.
But I think for Scarlet especially, just the team being vocal on social media about what to expect and different things coming up will be most transparent for getting people to see this is what's going to happen. If you would like to participate, please do.
Although Amber's senior year with the Scarlet Dance Line has come to a close, she is grateful for the 1 year she had with the team her freshman year.
At least I had 1 year of game day and friends and Scarlet's sister and all those things. I feel like I fulfilled that feeling of being on a college dance team.
Hopefully, with restrictions easing up, we can catch the Scarlet Dance Line back in action.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Triana Gondo.
We hope to see these performers back doing what they love in the future.
The COVID impact on teams and organizations has caused many people to get creative, especially businesses. Reporter Cindy Oprano has a story on how one business owner has adapted to the times.
From the beginning of COVID-19, many small businesses were forced to close their doors here in Las Vegas. Some entrepreneurs saw it as an opportunity for their businesses to go online. Imani Salih tells us more on what inspired her to start an online business during a pandemic.
My name is Imani Salih, and I am the founder, creator, and owner of Goddess Links, a small Black woman-owned handmade business. After I graduated college last year, I felt like I was trying to find myself. I went through a lot of emotions, and it was definitely hard trying to navigate this new life into adulthood in the midst of a pandemic. Goddess Links came into play because I started creating these waist beads just for myself so I could start aligning to my higher best self. I'm thankful enough I'm operating my business out of my home and I'm able to sell online. With COVID, so much of everything is now virtual. I find having an online store makes everything a lot more accessible to everyone. To create Goddess Links, I didn't need to have a storefront, and that's the blessing. Check us out on IG at Goddess, GODDESS_links, LINKS. From there, everything from a link to my website to other things will be provided. Stay safe, everyone.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Sydney Arpano.
Imani is a UNLV alumni and shows the importance of supporting small businesses here in the Valley.
Seeing how COVID has impacted and changed our community has many people eager to return to normal. Part of that return to normal includes the controversial topic of wearing masks. Over the weekend, no mask protesters in Summerlin stormed businesses without wearing their masks. Reporter Valentina Menchkov has the story.
On March 7th, no mask protesters stormed Burlington Coat Factory in Summerlin. The group's mission is to bring attention to health risks related to wearing masks. The unnamed group of nearly 50 people tried to storm Sprouts Grocery before doors were shut on them and police were called. Among the crowd were adults, children, and Proud Boys, an all-male white supremacist group. After entering the Burlington store, the protesters circled the store, shouting, "Take off your masks," to shoppers and employees before getting kicked out and moving to downtown Summerlin Shopping Mall.
Wearing a face mask is far more hazardous than the threat of coronavirus. I carry this. I'm exempt from any ordinance requiring me to use a face mask. Wearing a face mask poses mental and physical risk to me. And this is the most important thing. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, I am not required to disclose my medical conditions.
I have a question about that. So if you go into a business and you show them that card, do they still allow you to shop there without a mask?
They used to. Now they say no. But they're not going against they're going against the law. I'm not. I have every right to go in any business here without a mask because I just say I have a medical exemption. They have no right to kick me out.
These protests are organized bi-weekly every second Sunday at a location in Summerlin.
I was able to get enough footage of the protesters going inside the businesses along this street until the businesses shut their doors and called the cops. For now, the protesters have left to another location, hoping to reverse this mask mandate. I'm Valentina Menchikov reporting for Studio G.
As of today, the CDC is still advising those who have not been fully vaccinated to continue to wear masks in public. Coming up, we will be taking a look into how sororities are recruiting new members.
And taking a closer look at the founder of the American Red Cross. Studio G will be back in a minute.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using. But it's not too late. There are safe places across Nevada to help pregnant women stop using. No matter how lost you are, how far along you are, there's always hope. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today.
There is no known safe amount of marijuana used during pregnancy. Everything a mother eats, drinks, or smokes affects her developing baby or enters her breast milk. Just like alcohol and tobacco, using marijuana can have negative effects on your baby. Using any form of marijuana may be harmful to your baby during pregnancy and while breastfeeding. Marijuana can affect your ability to care for your baby or someone else's baby. If you're pregnant or a new mother and using marijuana, you are urged to quit. Visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211.
Good afternoon, UNLV. This is Triana Gondo with your weather update for today. Now, the past couple of days, we've seen it all. We've seen rain, gusts, winds, and tonight we might see some rain today. So, taking a look at our forecast for today, we're at 54, high of 55, low of 39, winds still crazy. Now, taking a look across the valley, we have Centennial and Summerlin at 51, Southern Highlands and Las Vegas at 54, North Las Vegas at 55, Nellis and Green Valley and Boulder City at 56 and Henderson at 58. Now on to our temperatures for tonight. 52 degrees, mostly clear with a low of 41. Winds pretty calm, but make sure you bring a jacket if you want to stay outside. Now on to our 5-day forecast. Thursday and Friday we have showers, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday we are sunny. And that's all the weather I have for you today. Now back to our friends at the desk.
Even though UNLV isn't allowing in-person events, that doesn't stop fraternity and sorority life from recruiting new members. Reneca Mabalo spoke with one PHC's recruitment chairs as she discusses her experiences about recruiting during the pandemic.
Despite the pandemic, Penn Atlantic chapters continue to recruit new members this spring semester.
Our chapter decided to keep recruiting because we wanted to give the girls the same opportunity that we all had going through recruitment. We wanted to make sure that everybody that, for informal recruitment, I felt that we did informal just because we really wanted to make sure to get everybody that missed the formal recruitment process. We also wanted to let these girls get the opportunity to join the sorority. Even though we were in the pandemic, we wanted to let them have the opportunity to choose if they would like to be in a sorority or not.
Whether it was a virtual or safe in-person event, social media played a huge role in recruiting for sororities.
Oh my goodness, it was all spring recruitment was just completely social media. We were advertising our sorority basically, and we were just trying to get girls to fill out that form. We would just constantly post on the story. I also did a Q&A, the PR chair is actually my little, so we're super close, and I was able to answer questions, she would call me, and we also sent out a template to the girls, or not a template, but a picture, so their followers could see that we were doing recruitment. And then we would, at the chapter, and say click here if you're interested, fill out the form in our bio, are you interested in going Greek, please reach out to me. And then the girls would reach out to me. By doing that, the girls just kind of came to us if they were interested in joining Sigma Kappa. We decided if they held our values or not, and we moved on from there.
Although Sigma Kappa is no longer recruiting for the semester, you can check out the other PHC chapters who are open to gaining new members. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Reneca Mabalo.
To know which Penn Atlantic chapters are still recruiting, you can check out their Instagram page at UNLV-PHC. Continuing our celebration of Women's History Month, let's talk about Clara Barton. Clara Barton was a nurse during the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865. She worked in the front lines, the nickname Angel of the Battlefield. Clara established the American Red Cross in 1881, where she served as the president until 1904.
Speaking of amazing people, earlier this year, the House of Representatives chose to alter the text of standing rules to replace gender-specific language with gender-neutral language. Studio G reporter Lewis Anderson talked with Dr. Erica Abad, the Assistant Professor in Residence of Gender and Sexuality Studies, an interdisciplinary degree program, to break down what this exactly means.
How are you doing today, Dr. Abad?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. And to start off the interview, this is a big topic that not a lot of people understand, and that is when the House of Representatives decided to remove the use of gender-based language in the House of Reps. Can you give us a little more information on that and explain what type of effects it could have?
When we're talking about gendered language within the executive offices of the federal government being changed, it's important to acknowledge that part of the change stems from the critical examination of what hadn't been done when, one, women were first starting to gain elected office, and two, even before, for the representatives who would speak for our rights at the federal, state, and sometimes local levels. And so this brings to mind the extent to which how many of us are familiar and aware of the gendered language across a variety of institutions.
Do you think this means for women in general, not just women, but just the country in general going forward?
So, thinking about the country going forward, and currently being governed by an administration, I'm speaking specifically of the president, that wants to acknowledge that gender does not exist in a binary and wants to make sure that those whose biological sex that was assigned at birth is not their gender have rights. I'm thinking about the daily practices of changing language in one arena is useful and yet just the beginning.
I want to thank you for everything you gave us. It's plenty to think about. And I want to thank you again for being here with us and speaking to the school. And I hope you can come to our studio in person sometime in the future and give us more of this amazing brain of yours.
Thanks. I will have a mask on. I will be able to do it though.
I hope to see you there after spring break. You have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful interview, Lewis. After the break, Katora is in the studio with a local entrepreneur.
NDOT's top priority is keeping you safe and connected. One of the many ways we strive to keep you safe is by taking an active role with improving the quality of stormwater runoff entering our waterways from our roads and highways. From constructing and maintaining roads to monitoring our waterways, NDOT's dedicated environmental professionals are focused on reducing the impact of our projects on our environment. We do our very best to preserve Nevada's waters for future generations.
This is a storm drain. It collects stormwater. Grass clippings, fertilizer, yard waste, they all contaminate our stormwater. Litter, pet waste, they also contaminate it. Fluids from leaking vehicles run right in there. All stormwater goes untreated directly to our local waterways. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains and out of our waters.
Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations. Visit loveandbewaters.com.
Joining us today in studio, we have Breon, a local entrepreneur we are happy to have here at UNLV campus, as she is from UNR.
Oh.
Breon, we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So earlier I mentioned to you that you did go to UNR, and you said something about it being the original Nevada campus.
Hey man, all eyes on me right now. Yes, we are the original campus of Nevada. Sorry guys.
So amongst other things, and being an entrepreneur, she has a clothing line. She's worked with countless influencers and celebrities, and she is also one of the many people in Las Vegas who's doing something with the local rapping scene. Can you tell us more about your clothing line?
My clothing line, I started in 2010 in California. I've been doing this for about 11 years now, and A person that I would say that really influenced me to keep going is Nipsey Hussle. I've had encounters with him, you know, so it also pushes me forward now after the tragedy that we had with him the last, 2 years. So yeah, he's a big influencer for me. I got a lot of things going on right now. I have crew necks, shorts, I have hoodies, coats. I have a lot of things. If you can check out my website, www.caliblunted.com. I have an Instagram as well. And I also use local models. So if anybody out there wants to model, shoot me an email, bookbrionj@gmail.com, excuse me.
Perfect. So I've seen a lot of your crew necks and things on your site. I know they come in a variety of colors. I've seen some really great sweatsuit sets. There are a lot of sweatsuit brands coming out right now, especially because of the pandemic. So how does yours stand out amongst everyone else's?
Honestly, it's called Cali Blunted for a reason. It's for the bold, honestly. People for the bold. People who like to speak their opinions, you know, and get their words across. That's what I do it for. That's what it stands for.
Amazing. So also, amongst other things that you're heading as an entrepreneur, I know you have your Vegas Ciphers going on, and you're in the second season?
Yeah, second season. I started last year. Right now, we are currently at about 87,000 views. Soon we'll be at 100,000 this season. What do I have? First season, we had five episodes. This season, we only have 3 due to the pandemic. It was a huge gap. We did 1 episode and it was a huge gap for the next one, which was a year.
And basically it's just local rappers coming together and showing us their best talents?
Honestly, it's women. It's for women, and it's all over the United States. I have people from Detroit, people from Miami come out. They fly out, California, and so on. They all come out to do these ciphers. The reason why I chose to do just women is because I just felt like we don't really have that, what do I say? We don't get that attention, like being as women. Yeah,
in the industry, right?
Or in the industry. Sex sells right now, you know? So for right now, we're trying to merge from that. So I'm trying to get, you know, different rappers and to talk about different things. So I give them different challenges, and that's what they do.
Of course. Well, I think that Brion here has some amazing things happening in the music industry, especially as rappers, when we do have a lot of women who don't get to speak for their lyrical talent, but what they look like. Don't go anywhere. Studio G will be right back after this break.
Safety, I'm here to tell you, and we're all here to tell you, that it is safe. We will not be taking it if we did not think it was safe. We would not be advocating for our own family members to get a vaccine if we didn't think it was safe. These vaccines have demonstrated that they can prevent severe illness and death, which means we finally have a chance of beating this thing and getting back to the life that we knew pre-pandemic.
I think the vaccine's important. I absolutely am going to take advantage of it. It's an opportunity we have to try and prevent the spread and contain this. Look, we know the devastation that Nevada's economy has seen from the COVID-related illnesses and the shutdowns that businesses across the board, from gaming all the way down to small business. And we need to make sure that we do everything we can to protect our loved ones, to protect our neighbors and friends. Anything we can do to get back to work is extremely important.
Since the announcement that Las Vegas was going to get a pro sports team in the Golden Knights, the Valley sports scene has exploded from the Aces to now the Raiders, calling Las Vegas home. The industry continues to grow, including places for athletes to train. One local facility just opened their doors, and Studio G reporter Jaron Turner was able to check it out.
Off of Buffalo on the 215, you can find the Institute of Human Performance, a sports gym that will change the Vegas Valley sports scene forever.
We are here at the Powered by the Institute facility. We're a human performance company that integrates all resources that develops human capital, and when applied to sports and athletes, gives them the competitive advantage to develop faster than the normal human being, let's say.
Jesse Halberstadt, a Southern California native that trained kids at the famous Winter Circle Gym in Los Angeles, California, moved here with the plan to open his own major sports facility.
We've been open for officially for a month now. Right before the pandemic hitting, we had keys and we started construction, had to go on a little halt for a second, and we're back running, open officially. So it's been a grind, but we're here.
The converted warehouse facility has several pieces of state-of-the-art exercise equipment, including air pressure weight machines, fat bell dumbbell weights, and the institution has its own ready-made meals for athletes. The institute is also home to the MB3 Basketball Academy, hosted by Marcus Banks, as well as Powerhouse Pilates and Project Wellness. The institute trains pro, major college, and high school athletes around the valley, making Las Vegas a hot new destination point for athletic training, adding their own crucial wrinkle into Las Vegas sports community. This is Jerron Turner with Studio G. Back to you in the studio.
The Institute plans on hosting several events for youth and high school sports at their facility in the coming year. They also plan to expand their warehouse to cover baseball, hockey, and several other sports here in Las Vegas.
Today is a special day. March 10th is our director Devin's birthday. Happy birthday, Devin! We're so excited. He didn't know we were going to do this, so he's a little frazzled, and Devin's birthday is special, but that's not the only thing happening on March 10th. Today is also Mario Day. It stems from the abbreviated date MAR10, March 10th. Fans celebrate this day with discounted games in the Nintendo Switch shop to honor the video game icon. This is a yearly tradition from the Mario franchise. Mario's first appeared in the game Donkey Kong in 1981 as a carpenter named Jumpman. Then in 1983, Mario is reinvented as an Italian plumber who rescues princesses. This is when Luigi is introduced and the brothers fight obstacles together.
I personally love Mario so much. I grew up playing Mario, so it's exciting to have a day for him. Recently, Andrew Hall, a UNLV student, received the Veteran Student Award of the Year. In 2020, he was the president of Rebel Vets, which is an organization focused on helping ex-vets transition into college life. What was especially noteworthy of his presidency was the leadership he showcased throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. During this unexpected time, Andrew was able to conduct online meetups and social distance gatherings in order to continue his work with Rebel Vets and to ensure that no ex-veteran would be left behind during these harsh times. This awards also comes along with the recent finding that UNLV ranks 7th across the nation for being one of the best colleges for veterans. Congratulations, Andrew, and for any veteran students looking for help, be sure to contact UNLV Military and Veteran Service Center. Lastly, today, the Life is Beautiful lineup has been released, with Billie Eilish, Green Day, and Tame Impala leading the way. I'm excited to see Tame Impala. It's one of my favorite bands, so I'm very, very excited for this.
If I end up going, this will actually be my second time seeing Billie Eilish, so I'm pretty excited for her.
I have never been.
Some tickets go on the sale this Friday for the 3-day music festival happening in downtown Las Vegas, September 17th, 18th, and 19th.
That's all we have for today. Make sure to join us tomorrow noon. I'm Maria Debut.
And I'm Ariel Mack. Again, happy birthday, Devin, and thank you for watching.